Hello and welcome along to the race by race preview for Happy Valley coming up on Wednesday night here in Hong Kong. It's time to have a look at each and every race, and in the studio with me is Paul Lally and Nick Childs. Nick, a good looking card coming up, main events Class 3 later in the night. Yeah,
it certainly is, Tom. Yeah, look, it's very competitive. It's one of those typical Happy Valley meetings where winners might be that little bit hard to find on paper. They might look a bit obvious, but there are plenty of chances spread across the 9 races.
No jackpots, Paul, and no first starters either.
No, so there's nothing there. We've seen all the horses before that'll be racing around, and a lot of them have had plenty of runs at Happy Valley this season as well. All the speed in that last race, there's plenty of speed in race number 9. Looks like a good race and a good betting race to finish.
Indeed, we'll see how the track plays. We're back on the A course, of course, Wednesday night. It has been very much leaderish the last few meetings, but the rail back in the true position. Withdrawal to have a look at for race number 1, Red Elise comes out with a tendon issue, the old boy, so it might be the last time we see Red Elise because he is 10 years of age, mandatory retirement looming. Sure Win-Win gets in there with Matthew Poon with saddlecloth number 1. Smart Cousin is out for dinnership and he's been replaced by Owner's Star. Matthew Chadwick takes the ride there with saddlecloth number 12. 1800 metres Class 5 to open the card, and at the top we've got Sure Win-Win, who comes off the all-weather for his last 3 starts. Kyron also off the all-weather, Circuit Elite there. Classic Archie, Daily Beauty's got the visor coming off and the blinkers going back on. All is ready is on a 7-day backup. Dream Catcher hasn't done a great deal. Golden Fairy, Win-Win Charity's actually been a little better in his last couple. Cable Speed, Baron Z, Owner's Star getting in with £127. Nick Pace here, Circuit Elite. He has gone full, but not in his last couple of starts. He's looked a little one-paced.
Yeah, 3 starts ago, you've got to go back to see him with any pace. But as you say, he has been a little bit slow out in a couple of recent runs. Dream Catcher is a horse that might well be able to capitalise on that if he is slow. He's drawn 12 though, but if he does get out the quickest, he'll be able to come across the face of the field and show plenty of speed. Cable Speed, Baron Z, I don't think will be a million miles away here, Paul, as well.
Yeah, he should get a nice run. Circuit Elite, the one thing with him is he's been running over 1650, so he's up to 1800. So he's only had the one start recently over 1800. He definitely led that one.
First of the replays to have a look at is Baron Z, and this is going back to Sharton on the 13th of May. Baron Z trained by Richard Gibson, Barrier 1, Angus Chung. I thought he stayed on well enough. He has been better his last 2, Nick, without getting too carried away.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there, Tom. It's a race where you can't get carried away. It would be folly to do so. So, look, he's drawn a good gate. He's got a light weight. If Angus takes his full claim here, which it looks like he might well do, it's 108 pounds on his back. And I agree, Paul, with Tom there. He has looked better in his last couple, but he's not won one yet.
No, he hasn't. Barrier 1, 108 pounds. Should get the leaders back. This will be his opportunity.
Classic Archie was tried up over 2200 metres last time out. I think it might have stretched him a little bit, Paul. He's another one that hasn't won a race yet.
No, he hasn't as well. Look, he's drawn nicely in barrier number 5. He's got Harry Bentley aboard. Has had one start over the 1800 metres. He did run 8th here at Happy Valley, but this was a better run from him. Look, I've included him. It's not a strong race.
Yeah, look, I've included him to the extent that I think he could nearly win the race, perhaps coming back in trip. But again, you don't want to be getting too carried away about the majority of these.
I mentioned before that Win-Win Charity has looked a little better in his last couple of starts. He might have been slightly flattered to you, Nick, with the run on the trail. I thought Kyron ran well from where he came from back in the field, and he was held up in the early part of the straight.
Yeah, he did. Look, let's start with Win-Win Charity, shall we? I mean, he has certainly been better in his last couple, 84 and 22 to 1. This is behind Lucky Victor and beaten 4 lengths. My concern, however, is he's 0 from 6 on turf here in Hong Kong. This was an all-weather run, as you can see quite clearly. So, look, both he and Kyron, they certainly have claims, but both of them need to prove themselves on the green stuff.
Yeah, I think the thing with Kyron is he's drawn awkwardly in barrier 10, and his win was on the all-weather, so I prefer him on that.
Okay, it's a summary of the replays there for race number 1. A tricky old start of the night. Paul, who's into the top 4.
Well, I'm going to go with sort of what I see as the leader and the leader's back. So I'm going to go with Baron Z. I think he'll get his opportunity. Lightweight, 108 pounds, and on leader's back. So he's on top. Now, Circuit Elite, look, he has won off a rating of 43 before and has led over this 1800 in the past. So his last 2 runs, well, the last run, forget it, because he was on the all-weather and it didn't suit him. But he was a little bit poor prior to that. He's a bit hit and miss, but at least he's been there, done that, and bought the T-shirt. Classic Archie, he's in there for 3rd. And All Is Ready is another well-rated horse as well. His win was off 37, and he's down to a rating of 30. But again, he's just a one-hit wonder at this stage. 11,346.
Yeah, there aren't too many in this race that have bought T-shirts, but hopefully Classic Archie might well get a garment this time around. I'll put him on top here. Very lukewarm on his chance, I must confess, but I think he's perhaps good enough to win a very weak race. Baron Z in for second. Circuit Elite goes in now. At least one thing he has got on his CV is a couple of wins over the course and distance, and that bodes quite well. And Owner's Star down at the bottom. Look, he's currently around about a 10-to-1 chance. Some of his form is certainly not the worst, and again, he is a course and distance winner twice. 4, 11, 3 and 12.
If you're playing Paul Lally bingo, you can mark your cards, and the boys have marked your card for race number 1, 6:45 for race 1, class 5, 1800.